is finally here, and I hope you guys are satisfied. Let's go over the basics, okay? So we know that Max and Ruby, they don't have their parents in the original episode or the original series, and there's an explanation to that, obviously, created by the author, which I'll let you guys know what that is in a second. But there is also other thoughts of why Max and Ruby are by themselves, and also why they barely visit their grandmother, and when they do, why they spend so much quality time with their grandmother. Also, why is Max always with his grandmother by himself? Supposedly, Ruby acts as if she's a child with Max because Max doesn't understand what's happening and Max is actually slow. And this would make sense because Ruby tends to act grown a lot, and she's really kind and caring to Max. But here's the twister. Max isn't as young as he portrays himself to be. Max is a lot older, kind of like how Ruby's a lot older, but she has to take care of Max, and they live in their own home. Well, why does Max and Ruby always visit their grandmother? Well, it's pretty simple. Their grandmother is sick, and they spend as much time as they can with their grandmother. As to why we don't see their parents, if they are grown and they're living in their own house and Ruby's just looking after Max, this would probably make the most sense, I guess. But we don't see Max and Ruby's parents. It's simply because they died. They're not there. And Ruby's old enough to take over the house and to watch Max. Now, this one doesn't really work. Why? Well, because later in the series, we end up seeing Max and Ruby's parents. Typical to think, well, Max and Ruby died too, right? Well, what if the episodes with Max and Ruby and their parents happened before the original OG series of Max and Ruby? Think about it. Max and Ruby, they're cool. They act more like kids. Ruby doesn't act so mature as she does in the OG series. And Max talks a whole lot more. I know what you guys are thinking. Well, this doesn't work, because why would that work? Why would Max and Ruby's parents be dead? Well, then why is this urn in their living room? Now, you guys explain that one to me in the comments. And then we have the original, what the creator said, why we don't see Max and Ruby's parents in this series at all. Now, I'm going to read this word for word, but I'm going to put it up here so you guys can read it too. Supposedly, the creator told Nick Jr., we don't see Max and Ruby's parents because I believe that kids resolve their issues and conflicts differently when they're on their own. The television series gives kids a sense about how these two siblings resolve their conflicts in a humorous and entertaining way. If you ask me, I don't buy it, because if that was the case, then why make a whole nother series with their parents in it? Don't make sense to me. Does any of these make sense to you? Because it kind of makes a little more sense to me, and I'm kind of believing the fact that Max really just may be slow, and Max and Ruby are grown, and Ruby really does just look after Max and pretend like they're kids so that he doesn't feel so spaced out and forgotten. And Grandma being sick and them visiting them all the time makes sense too. And then this urn in the house just brings it all together like the cherry on top. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Does any of this make sense to you? Does it give you a little bit more clarity? And if the creator originally didn't have the parents in the original series of Max and Ruby so that children can hash things out on their own, then question is, why bring the parents into the new series? Something to think about. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.